Stealing Fire Book Review. Stealing Fire is a book written by Kotler and Wheal, which explores the world of high-performance individuals and organizations. The book focuses on the idea that people can achieve altered states of consciousness in order to enhance their performance, creativity, and productivity. The authors draw on a diverse range of fields, including neuroscience, psychology, and technology, to make their case. They examine the use of meditation, psychedelics, and other techniques to achieve these states, and discuss how they are being used by elite athletes, executives, and special forces soldiers. The book is well researched and engaging, with a writing style that makes complex concepts accessible to readers. The authors do a great job of balancing scientific research with real-world examples and anecdotes, which helps to keep the book interesting and relevant. One of the strengths of Stealing Fire is its focus on practical applications. The authors provide numerous examples of how individuals and organizations can use altered states of consciousness to improve their performance, creativity, and overall well-being. They also offer some cautionary notes, highlighting the potential risks of using these techniques improperly. Overall, Stealing Fire is an insightful and thought-provoking book that will be of interest to anyone looking to enhance their performance or unlock their full potential. The authors present a compelling case for the value of altered states of consciousness and provide a roadmap for how to achieve them in a safe and responsible manner. Author writing style. The writing style of Stealing Fire is generally engaging, enthusiastic, and accessible. The authors use a combination of storytelling, case studies, and scientific research to explore the topic of altered states of consciousness, making the material relatable and interesting for readers. The authors often use descriptive language and vivid imagery to bring their ideas to life, making it easier for readers to understand and visualize the concepts they are discussing. At times, the author's writing style can come across as sensationalized or hyperbolic, particularly when describing the potential benefits of altered states. This may be a turn-off for some readers who prefer a more measured or academic approach to the topic. Additionally, some readers may find the author's use of colloquial language and informal tone to be distracting or unprofessional. Overall, the author's writing style is well suited to the book's intended audience, which includes a broad range of readers interested in exploring altered states of consciousness. The author's use of relatable examples, engaging storytelling, and vivid language help to make the material more accessible and interesting to readers who may not be familiar with the topic. Chapters and sections of Stealing Fire Book Summary. Stealing Fire by Kotler and Wheal is divided into 4 parts, each of which is comprised of several chapters. Part 1, Altered States in Stealing Fire. Chapter 1, What's the Matter with Flow? In this opening chapter, the authors introduce the concept of flow, a state of optimal performance and heightened consciousness that has been studied extensively by researchers such as Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. The authors argue that while flow can be a powerful tool for improving productivity and creativity, it has its limitations and may not be enough for individuals and organizations seeking to push the boundaries of performance. They also introduce the concept of ecstasis, a term they use to describe a range of altered states of consciousness beyond flow. Chapter 2, The Rise of Ecstasis. This chapter delves deeper into the concept of ecstasis, exploring how it has been used throughout history by different cultures and groups, from ancient Greek mystery cults to modern-day rave culture. The authors also discuss how advances in neuroscience and technology are making it easier than ever to induce altered states of consciousness and tap into the power of ecstasis. Chapter 3, Tapping the Numinous. In this chapter, the authors explore the idea of the numinous, a term they use to describe the transcendent experiences that can be achieved through altered states of consciousness. They examine the potential benefits of these experiences, from increased creativity and productivity to improved mental and physical health. They also discuss the various methods that can be used to induce altered states, including meditation, psychedelics, and sensory deprivation. Overall, this chapter sets the stage for the rest of the book, laying out the author's argument for the value of ecstasis and altered states of consciousness as tools for achieving peak performance and unlocking human potential. Part 2, Culture in Stealing Fire, Chapter 4, Techno-Utopia. In this chapter, the authors explore how technology is changing the way we think about altered states of consciousness. They discuss the rise of wearable technology and biofeedback devices that can monitor and enhance our mental and physical states, as well as the growing popularity of virtual and augmented reality as tools for inducing altered states. The authors also examine the potential risks and downsides of relying too heavily on technology to achieve ecstasis. Chapter 5, Minding the Gap. This chapter takes a closer look at the cultural factors that influence our use of altered states of consciousness. The authors argue that many Western societies have a culture of disconnection that leads people to seek out ecstasis as a way of reconnecting with themselves and others. They also examine the ways in which altered states are stigmatized and criminalized in many societies, and the impact this has on individuals who use them. Chapter 6, United We Stand, Divided We Fall. In this final chapter of Part 2, the authors explore how altered states of consciousness can be used to create a sense of connection and unity among individuals and groups. They discuss the role of altered states in various forms of collective behavior, from religious rituals to political protests. They also examine the potential risks and downsides of using altered states to create group cohesion, including the risk of groupthink and the potential for harm to others outside the group. Overall, this chapter provides a thought-provoking exploration of the cultural factors that shape our relationship with altered states of consciousness. Part 3, Risk in Stealing Fire, Chapter 7, Playing with Fire. In this chapter, the authors explore the risks associated with altered states of consciousness. They discuss the potential physical and psychological dangers of using certain methods to induce altered states, such as psychedelics and extreme sports. The authors also examine the risks of addiction and the potential for altered states to be used as a form of escapism rather than a tool for personal growth and development. Chapter 8, Redefining Safety. This chapter focuses on ways to mitigate the risks associated with altered states of consciousness. The authors discuss harm reduction strategies such as proper preparation, set and setting, and the use of trained guides or facilitators. They also examine the importance of creating a safe and supportive environment for those seeking to use altered states for personal growth and development. Chapter 9, Going to Church in Your Sunday Best. In this chapter, the authors explore the use of altered states in religious and spiritual contexts. They discuss the long history of altered states in religious rituals and explore the potential benefits and risks of using altered states as a means of spiritual exploration and growth. The authors also examine the role of altered states in contemporary spirituality, including the use of psychedelics in ayahuasca ceremonies and the rise of spiritual but not religious individuals who use altered states to explore their own inner worlds. Overall, Part 3 of Stealing Fire provides a nuanced exploration of the risks associated with altered states of consciousness, as well as strategies for mitigating those risks and using altered states in ways that are safe and beneficial. Part 4, Reward in Stealing Fire, Chapter 10, Hack the System. In this chapter, the authors explore how altered states of consciousness can be used to hack the human system and achieve peak performance. They discuss the potential benefits of using altered states in professional contexts, from improving productivity and creativity to enhancing decision-making and problem-solving skills. The authors also examine the ways in which altered states can be used to enhance physical performance, such as in sports and military contexts. Chapter 11, The Future of Ecstasis. This chapter looks at the potential future of altered states of consciousness. The authors discuss emerging technologies and techniques that may be used to induce altered states in the future, such as brain stimulation and virtual reality. They also examine the potential societal implications of widespread use of altered states, including the impact on social structures and the potential for new forms of consciousness to emerge. Chapter 12, Stealing Fire. In this final chapter, the authors tie together the themes of the book and argue that altered states of consciousness are essential for achieving human potential and advancing society. They make the case that society needs to embrace ecstasies and altered states in order to move forward and solve the complex problems of the modern world. The authors also examine the potential risks and challenges of doing so, and call for a new approach to altered states that is grounded in safety, responsibility, and conscious intention. Overall, Part 4 of Stealing Fire provides a thought-provoking look at the potential benefits and challenges of using altered states of consciousness to achieve peak performance and unlock human potential. The authors argue that altered states are not just a recreational or spiritual pursuit, but an essential tool for advancing society and solving the problems of the modern world. Strengths and weaknesses of the book. Here are some potential strengths and weaknesses of the book Stealing Fire. Strengths of Stealing Fire book review. Stealing Fire provides a comprehensive and engaging exploration of altered states of consciousness, drawing on a wide range of sources and perspectives to provide a nuanced understanding of the topic. The authors make a compelling case for the importance of altered states in unlocking human potential and advancing society, providing numerous examples and case studies to support their argument. The book is well written and engaging, making it accessible to a wide range of readers with different levels of knowledge and interest in the topic. The authors are careful to acknowledge the potential risks and downsides of using altered states, and provide strategies for mitigating those risks and using altered states in safe and responsible ways. Weaknesses of Stealing Fire book review. Some readers may find the book too focused on certain aspects of altered states, such as the use of psychedelics or extreme sports, at the expense of other approaches and methods. The authors make some sweeping generalizations about the potential benefits of altered states, which may not be applicable or desirable for everyone. Some readers may find the writing style to be overly enthusiastic or sensationalized, and may prefer a more measured or academic approach to the topic. The book could benefit from more in-depth discussions of the potential risks and challenges of widespread use of altered states, particularly in the context of societal change and the potential impact on existing power structures. Good stories of the book, Stealing Fire, contains numerous compelling stories that illustrate the potential benefits and risks of altered states of consciousness. Here are a few examples. In Chapter 1, the authors describe how Navy SEALs use flow states to achieve peak performance during high-pressure missions. They share the story of a SEAL named Mark, who used flow to remain calm and focused during a dangerous mission to rescue hostages in Iraq. In Chapter 2, the authors discuss the potential benefits of ecstasies in creativity and innovation. They share the story of a team of engineers at Google who experimented with altered states to develop new ideas and technologies, including Google Glass. In Chapter 3, the authors explore the use of altered states in spiritual and religious contexts. They share the story of a man named Michael, who used ayahuasca to overcome his addiction to heroin and alcohol and find a deeper sense of purpose and connection in his life. In Chapter 6, the authors discuss the risks and downsides of altered states, particularly when used in a recreational or unguided way. They share the story of a man named Alex, who developed a dangerous addiction to extreme sports and risk-taking behaviors after experiencing the euphoria of flow states. Overall, the stories in Stealing Fire help to illustrate the complex and multifaceted nature of altered states of consciousness, and provide valuable insights into how these states can be used and misused in a variety of contexts. Lesson learned after reading book. After reading Stealing Fire, readers may take away several key lessons. Altered states of consciousness can be a powerful tool for unlocking human potential and achieving peak performance, both in personal and professional contexts. Altered states are not just a recreational or spiritual pursuit, but an essential tool for advancing society and solving complex problems. There are many different ways to induce altered states, ranging from the use of psychedelics and meditation to extreme sports and other physical activities. While altered states can have numerous benefits, they also come with risks and downsides, such as the potential for addiction, psychological harm, or dangerous behavior. To use altered states in a safe and responsible way, it is important to approach them with intention, preparation, and guidance from trained professionals. By embracing altered states and exploring their potential, individuals and society as a whole can achieve new levels of creativity, innovation, and collective consciousness. Overall, Stealing Fire encourages readers to think differently about altered states of consciousness and their potential for personal growth and societal change. The book provides a thought-provoking and engaging exploration of the topic and challenges readers to consider how they might incorporate altered states into their own lives in a safe and responsible way. In conclusion, Stealing Fire is a thought-provoking and engaging exploration of altered states of consciousness and their potential for personal growth and societal change. The book provides a comprehensive overview of the topic, drawing on a wide range of sources and perspectives to provide a nuanced understanding of altered states and their benefits and risks. The authors make a compelling case for the importance of altered states in unlocking human potential and advancing society, while also acknowledging the potential downsides and risks of using altered states. They provide strategies for using altered states in safe and responsible ways, and encourage readers to approach altered states with intention and preparation. While some readers may find the author's writing style to be overly enthusiastic or sensationalized at times, the book is generally well written and accessible to a broad range of readers. Overall, Stealing Fire is a valuable resource for anyone interested in exploring altered states of consciousness and their potential for personal and societal growth.